And now we've got Vex's Doppey versus Boo's Pugsy.
In the meantime, in losers
semis.
bracket, we've seen Egg Soup actually been climbing all the way. Still in this game, we've seen Chugum actually giving off a forfeit win.
2, 1,
Crocky's also been climbing. So right in the game though, Doppey on his Orion yet again, Pugsy on his Bodvar yet again. Pugsy deciding he wants to play his Bodvar instead of his Ada. He plays both of them quite a bit.
Pugsy goes in for that side light. Doppey holding onto the spear, goes for that neutral light, but Pugsy's responding with a neutral light of his own. Both players exchanging neutral lights with their weapons, both catching each other out and out of their guard. Pugsy catches his landing with another neutral light, hits him with the sider. Both players sticking to their ground game, really, but there's a downer to punish Doppey for not being able to get up into the air. Doppey jumps with a neutral air into a recovery to a sider and does a great amount of damage to Pugsy, but that side sig, that might actually end it if he is able to get this hammer attack. Ooh, dodges out of the way of the cider, doesn't get hit by the recovery, and makes it back on the stage. Doppey's recovery on point as usual.
Wow.
Bomb goes into the air, picks up the lance, goes for that down zig. Pugsy picks up the sword. Ooh, doesn't go for any moves there, so Doppey's weapon toss doesn't quite work out.
Beautiful dodging.
Next.
Yeah, it's not gonna work quite though. Oh. You know, we still see people go for that, but I haven't seen like a slide charge hit in like weeks. I think people just don't fall for that anymore. Nice ground pound dodging read by Doppey, getting the first kill on Pugsy, but he's already in kill percent.
Ooh, Pugsy tosses the mine to the side. Doppey just dancing on the side of the stage right now, making sure that he can make that recovery last as long as possible. It doesn't matter. Pugsy says, screw you, I've got the sword, hits up the downer, and evens it up 2-2. That early lead not mattering at all.
Wow, so Pugsy getting a bit of the early damage in, but Doppey manages to return some of it, but wow. Edgeguard game from Pugsy, and this is the downside.
Pugsy holds onto the sword, gets that side stick, goes for the weapon toss, fall up, but Doppey recovers low, waits for him, chases him, gets the downer. Doppey low on, jumps the ground pound, goes through it. Pugsy, no! Oh my gosh, it looked like he was going to die there. But he makes it back, regardless of the lead, hits the side stick, and Doppey is killed off the side of the map. Pugsy has a solid stock lead over Doppey.
Wow. This was an even game until the second stock, and then Pugsy just did everything and Doppey did nothing. So suddenly, we see a full stock lead in Pugsy's favor, and he's still going off. Pugsy taking absolute control of this game.
Pugsy holds on to the sword. Goes for that side light. Doppey trying to hit him with the spear right now. Doesn't even toss it upwards to do any anti-air. Picks up the spear, catches his landing with the neutral light. Oddly enough, another neutral light hits him 3 times with these neutral lights from the spear. Goes for that down light, doesn't work out. The pogo stick, however, sends him into the orange. Goes for that down light, doesn't hit, and the ground pound's punished by Pugsy's silent into side sig. That's probably Doppey's stock. No, misses the downer because of the platform, but gets the ground pound regardless, goes for another downer. Doppey goes for a ground pound of his own, and a ground pound will probably end it. No, both players are exchanging ground pound to ground pound. There's the weapon toss.
Okay.
Pugsy takes game 1, 2 stock over Doppey's Orion. I wouldn't be surprised to see, not only a legend switch, but a Wi-Fi switch trying to change his connection.
Looks like Doppey's going to switch over to his neighbor's Wi-Fi, probably more consistent than his own. Interesting tactic by Doppey.
Doppey's been known, even though for being an NA player, to have a lot of connection issues, especially when it comes to tournaments. So he has to change things up. He's got a few different options that he can do: reset routers, change Wi-Fi, etc. Just try to get himself in the best position to play. Still plays quite well despite that.
Spear there does 18 damage.
And we'll be ready to move on to game 2 of this Winners Semis in just a minute. And stick around, because after our Winners Semis match, we will have another community color code raffle for you guys in the chat. Be excited.
Okay. So yeah, while we're waiting, like I was saying with the losers bracket, we actually have Twilight versus Crocky happening right now. Egg Soup is already in losers...
Quarters, round 5?
Losers quarters?
Yes.
Yeah. Egg Soup in losers quarters. LGZ also was knocked into the losers quarters by losing to EXO. But they're not playing each other. Let's see. So the loser of this game will actually be playing against Egg Soup in losers bracket.
Yeah, this game's really important because whoever gets the winners finals here is basically confirmed into the prize pool. Exo's already
Yep.
made his way into there, so he has a minimum of $20 being able to walk home with today. Very exciting.
You give money to the top 3, right?
Yes, top 3. The prize pool is 160, 100 to first, 40 to second, third, 20 to third.
Yeah, so that's rough. If you win, so for both Pugsy and Doppey, if you win this, you get money. If you lose this, you have to win 2 more games, or 2 more best of 3s.
Against arguably world-class
The
players.
best players in this tournament,
yes.
yeah. It's gonna be tough. This is a huge game for both these players.
There's
Getting
that
some
legend
guarantees
switch that I was
in the
expecting from Doppey. Definitely didn't have success on the Orion, switching it over to Gnash.
I mean, he really got bodied by Pugsy. He got 2 stocks pretty convincingly, especially the last 2 stocks. It was kind of close the first one, but not the second.
3,
So,
2,
seeing the switch to Gnash,
brawl.
definitely something that we can expect. See if it works out any better. So, both players finding the early weapons, seeing some weapon-on-weapon combat. Pugsy, again, getting the upper hand just a bit. Doppey's having trouble spacing Pugsy out. Pugsy's just finding his way inside Doppey over and over. Goes for the gravity cancel side take, but it doesn't quite connect. Doppey still just struggling to find anything. Pugsy is doing so good so far.
Yeah, went for that down sig and actually finally got punished by Doppey's down air. Doppey going in for that sliding stomp. Doesn't quite connect out. Pugsy ready to punish everything that Doppey does. Tries to recover high, gets hit by a side air. Doppey out of jumps, but makes it back to the stage regardless. Pugsy not being too risky with that off-stage recovery. And there's the D-Light side air into weapon toss. I believe that should be Pugsy or Doppey's stock. There it is. Easy ground pound to cover Doppey's recovery. And Doppey's looking quite sluggish in this matchup against Pugsy.
Yeah, Doppey isn't really doing the spacing that he needs to. Because what you want to do, especially as Gnash, is you want to set up your wall, you want to set up your neutral air, neutral light, and just not let them get close enough to use their sword skills. But Pugsy just finding his way inside of him over and over, and you can see he's already almost down a full stock. Like, Pugsy is just completely dominating.
Well, but there's a stop
Nice.
into the downer, and that GC signature would have dominated Pugsy there. Because for them to stop and Pugsy's ready to punish, but there's the side air, has the bomb, tosses it upwards, goes to the ground pound, that will connect. Doppey takes the stock and evens it up 2-2.
The ground pound was pretty good, but he's already on orange. See if he can play better this stock. If it keeps going like it was before, Pugsy is going to be running away real quick. But Doppey finding some damage. But gets smacked by the stair.
Ooh,
Oh
that
no.
recovery sends Doppey low. No
That actually
jumps.
killed him.
And Pugsy's got another solid stock lead over Doppey. I've noticed this, at least in regards to this matchup, specifically between Doppey and Pugsy, that if Doppey doesn't end up being able to go even or take a lead against Pugsy, he oftentimes plays quite poorly, for lack of a better word. Goes in for that neutral air, but yeah,
Wow.
Doppey seems to be struggling a little bit. Pugsy tosses the weapon aside, dodges into the mine, surprisingly enough. Doppey trying to go in for that hammer hit, goes to the side air, Pugsy tosses his sword away. Doppey landing. But the down stick, wow,
Oh!
that down stick landing on the mine for some reason not landing. Pugsy nearly downers in the mine himself. Both players just dancing around that mine on the ground, and Doppey edges forward, holds onto the hammer, goes for an air. Pugsy holding onto a hammer himself, launches it into Doppey's face, goes for that sword side air, doesn't quite connect, and Doppey finds a side air of his own.
Yeah, I mean, Doppey's already in deep orange. So,
Ooh, but the scoop might be able to end Pugsy's stock, and if Doppey could take Pugsy's stock here, well, doesn't matter anymore. Side to
another
connects,
2 stock.
and Pugsy takes game 2.